I think this is the very first time where people like myself and maybe even government officials have had access to this information.
Offshore leaks made front-page news. The UK, the US, Switzerland, China, Russia. It sparked official investigations in the Philippines, Greece, and India, and prompted the French president to call for an eradication of tax havens.
Parce que les paradis fiscaux doivent être éradiqués en Europe et dans le monde.
The reaction from the governments, I think, that really made it for me. But it was the broader message that it gave, that this just couldn't go on any longer.
Today we've agreed to tackle the scourge of tax evasion.
We've seen headline after headline highlight loopholes in the tax system, fueling public indignation, and rightly so.
The world is in financial crisis. The global economy is suffering thanks to the scandals such as Enron. The failure of both Madoff and Stanford Ponzi schemes has decimated life savings. All have one element in common: the use of a secret parallel economy that benefits a few at the expense of the majority.
Transferring funds to an offshore account is not illegal in most countries. Most are perfectly legitimate transactions, but they've become so popular, it's estimated that up to 1/3 of all world wealth now resides in tax havens, and an estimated half of all world trade passes through there. The offshore world is part of a universe that the public rarely gets to see, because what you are buying is secrecy. Like other products, it's subject to the laws of supply and demand. The more secrecy you want, the more money you pay. But where there's secrecy, there's also the ability to conduct transactions that are not so legal.
This is what enables the world's tax evaders to get away with evading taxes, with the world's sanctions busters, people who want to smuggle arms around the world, people who want to move drugs money around the world. All those types of people rely on anonymous companies in order to hide their identity.
The ICIJ series on offshore secrecy draws from a cache of 2.5 million secret files. It has taken more than 100 journalists around the world more than a year to analyse and report on them. The documents open up a world that until now has proven almost impossible to penetrate. The publication of the stories sparked government investigations around Europe, Asia, Australia, North and South America. There were several high-profile resignations and a renewed sense of urgency among world leaders that it was time to act against tax havens.
Today we've agreed to tackle the scourge of tax evasion. We need to know who really owns a company, who profits from it, where the taxes are paid, and we need a new mechanism to track where multinationals make their money and where they pay their taxes, so we can stop those that are manipulating the system unfairly.
The ICIJ is, today, publishing a database that at least partially removes the secrecy. It enables the world to see ownership information and to visualize many offshore networks. This basic corporate data contains information that we believe should be made public and should be transparent. We believe there's substantial public interest in opening up the secret world, at the very least regarding basic company ownership and management information.
Users can search the tens of thousands of people in more than 160 countries in the ICIJ Offshore Database by a person's name, company name or country, just as you can a corporate registry. The information you will be able to access includes dates, addresses, offshore jurisdictions and the role each person plays in an offshore company or trust. Roles include being a director, a shareholder, a beneficial owner and a trustee, among others. The relationships and networks you will find among people and companies are presented exactly as they appear in the original databases ICIJ received. We have taken that information and are presenting it in a searchable and user-friendly manner. We are not making guesses or matching things on our own. We are not adding information or making assumptions.
We are withholding a great deal of personal information, such as email addresses, telephone numbers, bank accounts, as well as fields in the original databases with random notes about people's offshore dealings. Some country-specific information is also presently being withheld because we're still mining that information for future stories. The journalists who have worked on this for more than 8 months consider this an historic moment. Entry to the secret world is now publicly available for the first time online. We're issuing this next phase of the data in response to requests from the public and because we need the wisdom of the crowd. By making this database available, we're extending an invitation to the world to be part of our investigation. We want help identifying persons of interest for the public to share what they find with our reporters. It may be that the best stories are still out there.
We need to make sure that all companies pay their taxes properly and enable citizens to hold their governments and businesses to account.